It started with a call that wasn't supposed to exist. I had just begun working the night shift at a small roadside motel on the edge of a nearly abandoned highway. The place was called the Red Pine Motel. It wasn't the kind of place people chose. It was the kind they ended up at when they had no other option. The owner barely trained me. He just handed me a key, pointed at the dusty computer, and said, "Answer calls. Check in guests. Don't leave the desk after midnight." That last part felt oddly specific, but I didn't question it. The first few nights were painfully quiet. Maybe 1 or 2 cars would pass every hour. Sometimes a guest would check in late, usually truck drivers or couples who didn't want to be seen. But on the 4th night, things changed. It was exactly 2:17 a.m. when the phone rang. Not the front desk phone, the old landline mounted on the wall behind me. I hadn't even noticed it before. I picked it up. "Red Pine Motel, how can I help you?" There was silence at first. Then, breathing. Slow, uneven, like someone trying not to be heard. "Hello?" Then a whisper came through. "He's inside." I frowned. "Who is this?" No answer. "Room 6. Don't let him see you." The line went dead. I stared at the receiver for a few seconds before hanging it up. Room 6 was occupied. A man had checked in earlier that night, mid-40s, quiet, didn't make eye contact, paid in cash. I told myself it was probably a prank. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling. I checked the security monitor. There were only 4 working cameras, grainy black and white footage. The camera, facing room 6, flickered. At first, nothing seemed wrong. Then I noticed the door. It was slightly open. I was sure it had been closed before. I leaned closer to the screen, and that's when I saw it. A shadow move inside the room. Not near the door, deeper in, like someone was standing in the corner, watching. I grabbed the master key. I don't know why. Maybe curiosity. Maybe something worse. The night air outside felt colder than it should have been, the kind of cold that sinks into your bones. I walked slowly toward room 6. Each step felt louder than the last. The door creaked as I pushed it open. "Hello? Front desk." No response. The room smelled off, like damp wood and something metallic. The bed was empty. Bathroom door open. Shower curtains slightly pulled. I stepped inside. "Sir?" Then I heard it. A faint sound behind me, like someone stepping on the gravel outside. I turned around quickly. No one. But the door was now fully open. I was sure I hadn't opened it that far. That's when I noticed something on the mirror, written in what looked like condensation, or maybe something else. "He's still here." My heart started pounding. I rushed back to the front desk. The phone rang again the second I sat down. I didn't want to pick it up, but I did. "You saw it, didn't you?" Same voice. "You shouldn't have gone in there." Who is this? What is going on? He doesn't like when people look at him. The line went silent again. I slammed the phone down. That's when the power cut out. Everything went black. No lights. No cameras. Just darkness. And the sound of something moving in the hallway behind me. Slow. Dragging. Getting closer. I froze. Every instinct told me not to turn around. But I did. And I wish I hadn't. At the end of the hallway, I saw a figure. Tall. Too tall. Its head almost touching the ceiling. Standing completely still. But I could feel it watching me. Even in the darkness. Then it tilted its head. Just slightly. And took a step forward. That's when the lights came back on. The hallway was empty. Nothing there. No sign of anyone. I ran outside. Didn't even lock the door. I sat in my car until sunrise. When the owner arrived, I told him everything. He didn't look surprised. Not even a little. He just sighed and said, "You answered the wall phone, didn't you?" I didn't reply. He nodded. "That phone hasn't been connected in years." A cold feeling washed over me. "Then, who is calling?" He looked at me for a long moment, then said something I'll never forget. "Every few years, someone checks into room 6. And sometimes, they never check out." I quit that same day. But here's the part I still can't explain. A week later, I got a call. On my personal phone. Unknown number. I let it ring. Then it went to voicemail. There was only one message. Heavy breathing. Then a whisper. "You left him there." I changed my number. Moved cities. Tried to forget. But sometimes, late at night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., my phone lights up. No number. No caller ID. And when I answer, there's only one thing I hear. Breathing. Closer than before. I used to drive for a rideshare app during the night. Less traffic, better money. But there was one ride I wish I had never accepted. It was around 1:43 a.m. when I got the request. Pickup location, middle of nowhere. No street name, just coordinates. That should have been my first red flag. I almost declined it. But the fare was unusually high. So I accepted. The drive there took about 20 minutes. The further I went, the emptier the roads became. No streetlights. No houses. Just trees. Endless trees. When I arrived, there was no one there. Just a narrow dirt road leading into the woods. I checked the app. The passenger had sent a message. "I'm already here." That's when I heard it. A car door opened behind me, but I hadn't seen anyone approach. Slowly, I turned around. The back seat door was slightly open, and someone was sitting inside. I swear, the seat had been empty seconds ago. Hi," I said nervously. No response. Just a figure. Wearing a hoodie. Face completely hidden. "Can you confirm your name?" Silence. Then finally, "Just drive." Something about the voice felt wrong. Too hollow. I didn't argue. I started driving. "Where to?" "You'll know." That didn't help. I checked the rear view mirror. The passenger was staring straight ahead. Not moving. Not blinking. That's when I noticed something strange. Their reflection didn't match. It was delayed. By a second. Every movement, slightly off. My grip tightened on the steering wheel. "Are you okay back there?" No answer. Then the GPS glitched. The route disappeared. And a new one appeared, leading deeper into the forest. I didn't remember accepting a route change. "Turn left," the passenger whispered. There was no left turn, just trees. "Turn." My hands moved on their own. I turned. The car shouldn't have fit through the gap between the trees. But it did. Like the road was forming as I drove. The deeper we went, the colder it got. My breath became visible. Inside the car. That's when the radio turned on by itself. Static. Then a voice. "He shouldn't have picked you." I slammed the radio off. "What is this?" No response. I looked in the mirror again. The passenger was smiling now, but their face, still hidden. Too wide of a smile. Impossible. Almost there. The car suddenly stopped. On its own. Engine dead. Lights flickering. We were in a clearing, surrounded by trees. No road. No way back. "You can let me out here." I didn't move. "You took the ride. Now you finish it." The back door opened slowly. Cold air rushed in. I turned around. The seat was empty. Gone. Just like that. Then my phone buzzed. The ride was still active, but the destination had changed. To your location. My heart dropped. I looked up and saw someone standing outside the car, right in front of me. Same figure, same hoodie, but now I could see the face, or what should have been a face. There was nothing there, just darkness, and that same impossible smile floating in it. I managed to start the car. I didn't think. I just drove. I didn't stop until I reached the city. The ride finally ended on its own. No payment, no record, nothing. I deleted the app that same night. But sometimes, when I drive alone, I check the back seat, and for a split second, I see someone sitting there, waiting. I worked as a security guard in a small office building. Night shift, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Easy job, or at least it was supposed to be. The building had 3 floors and a basement. I was told one simple rule on my first day. Don't go into the basement after 2 a.m. No explanation. Just that. Naturally, I didn't take it seriously. The first few nights were normal. I would sit in the security room, watching camera feeds. Nothing ever happened. Until one night. At exactly 3 a.m., the basement camera turned on. By itself. It wasn't even supposed to be active. The screen flickered, then stabilized, showing the basement hallway. Empty, or so I thought. Then I noticed something. A door at the end of the hallway, slowly moving, like it was being pushed open from the inside. I leaned closer to the screen. "Hello?" I said out loud, as if someone could hear me. The door stopped. Then, slowly, closed again. I laughed it off. Probably air pressure. But then, the camera glitched, and for a split second, I saw something standing behind the door. Tall, unmoving, watching. The next night, it happened again. 3 a.m. Basement camera turned on. This time, the hallway was empty, but there was something new. A chair, placed in the middle of the corridor. It hadn't been there before. I checked the logs. No one had entered the building. No one. Then the chair moved, just slightly, on its own. I froze. Then, slowly, it turned, facing the camera. That's when I heard a noise. Behind me, from the real hallway. A faint dragging sound. I turned around. Nothing there. When I looked back at the screen, the chair was gone. The third night, I decided to break the rule. 3 a.m. Camera turned on. This time, there was a person standing in the hallway, facing away from the camera. Completely still. I grabbed my flashlight and went down. Each step felt heavier. The air colder. When I reached the basement door, I hesitated, then opened it. The hallway looked exactly like the camera. Empty. Silent. Too silent. I walked slowly forward. "Hello?" No response. Then I noticed something. A camera, mounted on the wall, pointing directly at me. But it wasn't one of ours. I stepped closer, and that's when I heard it. A whisper. Right behind me. "You weren't supposed to come." I turned around instantly and saw it. The same figure from the camera, standing inches away. Face wrong. Eyes too deep. Smile too wide. I ran. Didn't look back. Didn't stop. I quit the next morning. But a week later, I got an email from the company. Subject line: basement camera footage. I didn't open it. I already knew what it would show. Me, standing in that hallway, at 3 a.m., not moving, not blinking, still there.